Hi, I'm Alison Watson. Welcome to another episode of Road Scholars, giving you the information you need to stay safe on our roads. Don't go anywhere, we have lots more.
Safe and convenient passage, the ideal situation for travel on our roads. But just as vehicles, for example, need to be in roadworthy condition, so too our roads need to be able to stand up to the pressures users place on it daily. And it's something that requires the input of all individuals and organizations involved in road building and maintenance. After all, the condition of roads, bridges, and other structures in the traffic environment can impact on the safety of all its users.
In designing, building, remodeling, or maintaining structures such as this one, those involved have to make certain special considerations, as how they go about doing all that can have implications for their quality.
Road construction companies, for example, need to conduct research to determine how they should build, given, for example, the slope and drainage patterns of the surrounding land, the purpose of the road, and the material that rests under the surface they will build on. It's generally the same for structures like bridges.
When you're looking at designing a bridge, you look at the span of the bridge. That means what is the distance of point A to point B, because that will determine the materials that you will use in building a bridge. You also look at the geotext for that as well. If it's a sea crossing bridge, you're going to have to, drill down into the base of the sea and see what kind of material is down there to work with. If it's bedrock, sand, or clay again, because that again will determine how you build the base of the bridge. And the last thing you look at is the load. How much traffic are you going to have crossing that bridge? Is it heavy trucks? Is it a highway bridge? Or is it just a single lane traffic bridge?
The placement of other elements also has to be carefully planned. Electricity poles, stoplights, road signs, bus stops, sidewalks, vending areas, among others, are not just randomly thrown into the mix. Decisions on where and how to place them are actually governed by world standards.
There are guidelines with regards to providing road geometry and even the pavement that we drive on. These are international standards. In Jamaica, we take from two main bodies, the United States and the UK. With the United States, we design to the AASHTO code, which is the American Association of State Transportation Highway Officials. Now, this code pretty much guides us with regards to what's a safe stopping distance for example, an intersection. How far can somebody traveling at the design speed see? So that will influence what obstructions can be allowed, for example, a bus stop or a sign, a street sign.
When you're building sidewalks for roads, the first thing you look at is it necessary to build a sidewalk? Because some roads don't need sidewalks because they are highways, that there's no pedestrians. Now, if you're in the middle of a town, you may need more sidewalks. You very much want sidewalks because they're going to find many more pedestrians. The other thing you look at is working with the utility companies, because when you're building a new road, you want to plan together to get the light posts away from the road as much as possible to save collision.
When building roads or bridges and erecting other structures, maintenance is another factor to consider.
With the present standards and the thickness of surfacing now, a good road should last 20 years, but it should be maintained after a 10-year period. However, in Jamaica, where you have a lot of country roads, one of the main things you need to look at is clearing culverts.
Keeping gullies, drains, and culverts clear is very important in maintaining the integrity of road surfaces. The NWA is the local agency responsible for gully control, the act of clearing drains and gullies and ensuring they remain that way. Its work is ongoing and drain cleaning efforts intensify during the hurricane season.
The roads, as you can see with the alignment, many of them are accompanied with drains. Now, the drains are to get the water to run off quickly. If we block the roads, then we interfere with the integrity of the drainage system, standing water will be on the road, reducing the ability for drivers to steer correctly. But also with fast running water, it will damage the integrity of the surface, the driving surface, due to scoring. And where you have cracks, the pressure of the tires driving over those cracks, they will actually break out the asphalt layer. So the road will deteriorate much faster than you would anticipate.
While it is largely the duty of the authorities to ensure that our roads, bridges and other infrastructure are properly maintained and stand up to the elements, we also need to do all that we can to take care of them.
Here's how we can help to keep road infrastructure in tip-top shape. Keep within the weight limit for vehicles.
The roads are designed to carry a specific capacity, just like the vehicles. Once you exceed that capacity that the road is designed to carry, you can cause damage to the road pavements and even lead to damage of other infrastructure on the roads. It can also cause damage to bridges. It can cause damage to culverts, box culverts for instance. It can cause damage to the underground conduits that carry communication cables, damage to drainage. It can cause any form of infrastructural damage.
Apart from damaging the road surface over time, vehicles that operate over their weight limit are general safety hazards.
A vehicle that is overweight, it has maneuverability problems. It has problem ascending inclines. It also has problem on declines. It actually puts stress on the braking system of the vehicle. Usually vehicles that are overweight tend to be over-dimensional as well. And if it's an aggregate vehicle, you see sometimes you're driving on the road, the aggregate is actually above the capacity of the vehicle. And spillage occur, and it can cause problems to other road users as well.
Never throw garbage in gullies or drains.
Ensure that the culverts are clear from vegetation so that when it rains, you get a free flow of the water coming down the road. Because as you know, if those culverts are blocked, then the road can become a river. And that's one way to easily destroy the surface of a road.
Avoid burning garbage, tires, or any other material on the road surface.
Any kind of stress on a road surface can be damaging, including the burning of tires, the throwing of refrigerators or demonstration material on a road can create damage to the surface. And once it's damaged, small or cracks are created in the road surface, then in no time it starts spreading. And that's where, even more damage comes afterwards, and it can become a crevice.
Do not damage or remove road signs or bridge infrastructure. They are there to protect us and to minimize chaos in the traffic environment and are costly to replace. Be careful what you put on the road surface.
Do not park your trucks on the curbs because they're not designed. The sidewalks, they're not designed for that. Construction material, don't dump your sand or your gravel along the roadside. One, it reduces the safe passageway, but also that material can be washed in the drains and actually block the drains, leading to accelerated deterioration of the surface. Don't burn your garbage on the road surface. Don't wash your cars on the road necessarily, because the oil and the solvents that you use, the degreasers, actually will influence the pavement in itself.
We also need to ensure that while we try to protect our road infrastructure, we are observant and recognize when conditions may be hazardous. Obey the instructions of flagmen at work sites. Pay attention to bulletins about unsafe conditions and plan accordingly. Never attempt to cross flooded roads, fords, or gullies. Always keep alert and look out for instabilities in the traffic environment. These can include missing manhole covers or bridge rails and defective traffic lights.
As citizens of a country or a community, if we don't care for them ourselves, then we are going to suffer the consequences.
To report hazardous road conditions, contact the police, the National Works Agency, or the Road Safety Unit in the Ministry of Transport and Works.
Taking care of our roads, ensuring that we use them properly, ensuring also that we walk, ride and drive with care. All things we need to consider in helping to keep road fatalities down. I'm Alison Watson, and this has been Road Scholars. Walk good.